Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 103rd episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by ATEBIT.net and Audio Technica. I'm your not so humble host, Brendan Wyatt, who can be found everywhere at Brendan8bit. Joined today, one of my usual partners in crime, Ali Hard, who can be found at Miss Ali Hart. And we've got a very special guest host today on the Hungry HQ. We've got Jack Kruse, who can be found at Krusey Mate. He's co-founder of the Explosion Network, host of 8-Bit's own It Is What It Is podcast, and a Western Bulldogs Football Club tragic.
Yes.
Welcome to the Hungry Gamers, my friend. How you doing?
Thank you. What up? Thank you for having me. Tragic is very much how I would describe my my love for the Bulldogs. But thank you. It's great to be here. I guess this is my second technically appearance on the show.
like this. I guess this is your
First
sort of
official
first
debut.
formal appearance on a proper. I wouldn't say structured episode, because our episodes are never really structured, but like, you know, normal, more run of the mill, like consistent thematically. Hungry Gamers podcast here on episode 103. So it's taken us that long to bloody get you on. We're slack, but we got here in the end.
Worth the wait. Totally
We're
worth the
lucky
wait.
if we can get each other on together at one time, let alone a guest. So.
No, worth the wait for sure. Glad to be here. It's been just about... I said last time, it's been nearly a year, but it hasn't been that long since I've been listening to the show. But my favourite podcast, so it's great to be back on the show officially. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking some games.
I think we're going to use that soundbite for future episodes.
Yeah.
Every single episode. Just when we need a little bit of a pick-me-up, we're going to drop that lick in there and just sort of, get those emotions on a high, and then boom, get in.
Magnificent.
Just after a shitty review, just like throw that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess for those listeners out there that somehow missed the 100th episode, if so, shame on you. Krusey, tell us about yourself. Give us the elevator pitch. Maybe we'll do some quick rapid fire questions far as
put me on the
talk
spot.
about your gaming chops.
Yep.
I can't remember what Dream calls it. The Dream rapid fire round or
Salim's
something.
quick questions or something.
Yes. Sit down for some Dreamtime stories.
Yeah.
The first
Dreamtime,
one.
that's good.
First game you ever played.
First game I ever played was Galaga on the Game Boy. Up until I was about 18, referred to it as Galaga, because I'd never heard anyone else say it before.
Yeah, I was the same.
Yeah, Galaga on the Game Boy. Dad brought a Game Boy home when I would have been probably like 5, one of the OG big fat ones. And I was like, what is this contraption? And then we just played every night, just Galaga, taking it in turns. Just amazing game.
Were you good?
No, not really. I never got past like the second challenge stage, but that game is just it holds a special place in my heart. Obviously, being a the first game I ever played, but just even now, like I still go back and play it now. I've got it there you go. I've got my Game Boy here with my original
Listeners,
Galaga.
we can confirm that is in fact a Game Boy with an original copy of Galaga in there.
This is not.
It does translate from video to audio.
Hold on, I'll give this. This should make it a little bit more authentic.
Bidding.
Oh no.
The batteries are flat.
There it is. Galaga,
She's a
first
beaut.
game. Great. It's a fantastic game as well.
What is one of your fondest gaming memories? Like, when you think of like a hell of a good time with video games, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Fondest memory of video games? Probably... I always come back to this sort... And it's not like my favourite game. It's in my like favourite games, but it's not one... Like, it's not even in the top 10. But I have this weekend once when my girlfriend went away, and I played Max Payne 3 over the course of a weekend. And I just remember, and I don't know why everyone is like, what's your favourite gaming memory? I just remember that weekend just being amazing. And just from like getting up in the morning, just playing Max Payne all the way through, and then like Saturday and Sunday, and just did not move from like the house, did not leave the house, was just in there, just engulfed myself in it.
you really can't beat those sort of vegetative state weekends where you probably even forget to shower sometimes and you just sort of roll out on a Saturday and roll into bed on the Sunday night in the exact same attire from the day before.
Yeah.
You know, lived off snacks. You've got like chip residue under your fingernails, cans of Coke out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Eating and using the bathroom is a burden.
Yeah, I know. It was like, I have to get up. And I remember it because it was one of those, we were going through like a heat wave in Melbourne. So it was like 40 degrees. And I was just in this, you can imagine, just in this house, in my, like, I used to game when we were in the unit at the time. And I'd sat in this like beanbag. There was like my gaming chair. And just pretty much didn't move from this beanbag in 40-degree heat for the entire weekend. But it was a magical weekend.
Speaking of magical, what would you say are some of your favourite games? I'm not going to try and get you to say favourite game of all time. We don't need to order them 1 through 3 or 5, but rattle off some titles that sort of, I guess, define you as a gamer from an enjoyment perspective, or you know, all-time Jack Cruz list.
Metal Gear Solid. I mean, all of the Metal Gear Solid games, specifically 3. You know, that is the number one, you know, not to rank the others, but Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite game. Sort of hard to talk about favorite games without mentioning that series. And like another, Galaga would be in there. Galaga, like I said, is a special game to me, and even, like, it just holds up. Like, I play that now on the like arcade classics on the PS4. Break out the Game Boy every now and then. It's just immaculate gameplay. The Witcher 3. Just an amazing like feat for a video game. That game holds a special place in my heart. And I'd have to say, it's slipped from me now. Final Fantasy VIII is another game that's very special to me. I think an underappreciated Final Fantasy game. But
now I'm terrible with the Final Fantasies. Which one's 8 again?
8 is the one with Squall, who's the
the one I like.
Yay! Finally,
Quistis and
yes,
that.
Quistis and Selfie,
Yes.
and Zell, Irvine. God, that was a great game. Laguna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first Final Fantasy. It was on a PC gamer demo thing.
That's it was my first. I reckon that's why it's a very special game to me again. My first Final Fantasy game. I remember all my friends played 7, and I just went straight to 8 and just lost myself in that game.
Ali, you got a question to throw our boy Cruzy's way off the top of your head?
Yeah. What do you hate in gaming? What's one of your gaming pet peeves?
Oh, my gaming pet peeves. That is a good question. What are my gaming pet peeves? I don't know. That is a good question. I think you've stumped me. Gaming pet
Really?
peeve. There's
There's nothing that like when someone mentions something of a particular game, you just kind of like roll your eyes or go, "Oh God, I don't want to deal with that."
No, I mean, I really like. I enjoy. I mean, I don't enjoy all. I'd be lying if I said enjoy all games, but there's no game that I'm like, oh, I hate those types of games. Like, I like sports games. I like fighting games. I like RPGs. I like, you know, storytelling, like telltale games, like action games. Actually, I do have I don't know if it's a pet peeve, but it's probably more like a game that broke my heart. Is AFL Evolution.
I can only begin to imagine where that broke your heart.
This game came
Probably
out
similar to Rugby League Live from me, I dare say.
Yeah, very much. So this is a game that that was my most anticipated game of 2017. It had all of the potential to be what we've always dreamed of as an Aussie Rule sort of fan base. It was just to be the game that, you know, would just change everything. We'd finally get a decent AFL game, and then they would put more money into it, and we'd get more and more and more, and it was just shit. It was so shit. And it broke my heart. It really did. It broke my heart.
It's just like, unless EA or something takes over those licenses, we're never going to get an AFL or an NRL game that's going to do itself justice.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the funding here in Australia, I don't know why, but just it's obviously not existent for the most part. So you get these borderline last gen port looking things that are just so under optimized and just janky from start to finish. But I feel you, because I'm a league tragic, supporting the Bulldogs, so we're sort of, I guess, same fans in
Surrogate
parallel
brothers.
universes. Got nothing to cheer for these
No,
days.
it's heartbreaking, isn't it?
But yeah, the games are just shit.
Yeah.
They are so shit.
I know. And it's just like they didn't even try. Like, I mean, I'm sure they tried. Like, that's hyperbole. But the game came out and they literally used the same engine and everything. It looked like a PS3 game and like not a good PS3 game either. Like, I was just so disappointed. So disappointed.
I think my favorite thing with those low-cost sport games is where they don't even have the time to sort of do any of the development to sort of separate the fingers. So they're running around with like just giant webbed hands.
Oh, yep. Oh, and the commentary is like, it's just really bad. It's just like, and he kicks it too, Smith. And it's just, stop it.
Yeah. And there's the same like 20 licks just sort of on rotation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did actually think of just a couple of gaming peeves now while we're having this discussion. Missable trophies and difficulty related trophies. So when you've got to
Are you a trophy hunter?
I'm a low key trophy hunter. I'm not to the level of like Jono and Tom for like their Jono's. I don't know. They've got too many platinum trophies. Too many.
They're ridiculous, man.
I have 21 or 22, so I think a respectable amount of platinums. There's a couple of Telltale games in there, which I think, they're a bit of gimmies, but I've got some ones that I'm sort of proud of. But yeah, I will, if there's a game I really like, I will go for the platinum in it, because I'll just enjoy sort of playing through it. So like God of War is a game I'm playing at the moment, which I'll definitely go for the platinum for. Far Cry 5, when I get back to that, I'll platinum that. Games like Infamous and those ones are really good, but I hate it when games make you either play on the hardest difficulty from the start, or like you have to beat it once on like hard and then you have to play it on ultra hard. You have to unlock ultra hard and then complete, like the last, like Wolfenstein 2 did that. Terrible idea. You could not even get out of the first room.
It would have been insane on ultra hard. Like even on normal, you get wrecked more often than not.
It's
so
like
I can only
permadeath.
imagine how it was on the death level, death level difficulty. So
Uber
Jesus.
or whatever it was called. Yeah. So that's a
Doesn't
peeve.
that make the platinum trophy more rare and therefore cooler?
It makes it unattainable. Like it makes it unrealistic, which is like, and especially so for someone like me who I have limited gaming time these days, being a father. If I'm going to platinum a game, I'm like, I want it to be like a 30-40 hours like maximum. Like I'm not going to put 100 hours into a game to platinum it, which some of these you have to, like for these types of trophies. And missable trophies as well, the worst.
Yeah, I like sort of. I'm not much of a trophy hunter or a challenge hunter or whatever else, depending on platform. But I can see the appeal on some of those games that you really, really love.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to, as you said, time management or lack thereof with time.
Yep.
So I usually just am a one and done type of guy for the most part, unless it's a game I'm obsessed about.
Yeah.
Do you find in your gaming circle, when you're sort of comparing platinum levels, is there a bit of a sort of hierarchy there when you're like, yo, I got 21 plats, and you're like, I got 45, and you're like, damn, man. Or do they look down on you for being sort of lower end of the totem pole?
I think I'm in a good spot. I think I'm in that like sweet spot where it's like, okay, he's 21 is a good, like he's gone for a few. Like if I had none or one, then I'd probably, my PlayStation cred would probably not be where I wanted it to be, as silly as that sounds. But like guys like I just think about Jono and Tom, who are just ridiculous trophy hunters, and I can't even think off the top of my head how many they've got, but they've got a lot. I think Tom's coming up to I think Tom's in the 60s, and Jono's I think maybe in the 50s. Because I know that because Tom's coming up to 69 and he's picking the right game. I think he's trying to make sure Knack is his 69th platinum. But yeah, I think I'm in that sweet spot but like it is, sometimes you can sort of see other people's trophies and it's a good way of gauging, I guess, how engaged they are with the platform, and sort of, you see the games that they play, and is it just exclusives? Is it just PS Plus games? Is it sort of a bit of everything, but they're all at like 5-10% completion, that kind of thing? So I think it gives a good. I wouldn't look down on anyone for not having platinum trophies. A good friend of mine, Ryan Betson, who has who runs the Pop Culturist, which is a PlayStation-centric.
He's a good man. They've got For the Players, their YouTube and audio-based podcast.
I think he doesn't have a platinum trophy, but he's like one of the biggest PlayStation nuts that I know. So it doesn't always tell a story of your commitment to the brand.
Yeah, we don't judge here on trophies or lack thereof. You know, if you're having a go, that's fine by us here at THGQ.
Nice.
THGHQ. Jesus Christ.
THGHQ. Yeah.
But no, that's good. What are you looking forward to this year, gaming wise?
Oh, I mean,
shoot from the hip.
Oh,
I'm going to take a guess and say Detroit.
No. I'm looking forward to Detroit, but Spider-Man, 1,000% Spider-Man is my next. I feel like people have forgotten about it now with God of War sort of coming in, and everyone's just like, God of War is game of the year. God of War is game of the year. Which, I don't disagree with, but. I still think Spider-Man could come in and everyone would be like, wow, that was special. So that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Yeah, Insomniac is certainly taking a high level of care with that title. So I'm excited to see how it goes later this year. Absolutely.
So that was, I guess, where you've come from as a gamer. What have you been doing the past week or so, or recently? What have you been playing? Tell us the things that are currently in your rotation.
Oh, at the moment, God of War. I mean, like everyone almost, except for Ali. It's engulfed my gaming sort of life. I had been playing Far Cry 5 in the lead up to it, and I didn't quite get the chance to finish Far Cry before. I'm right up to the last boss of Far Cry. I didn't.
That poor game.
Yeah, I know. I didn't quite get a chance to finish it off before God of War came, and I jumped into God of War, and just wow. What a game.
How far in are you at the moment in your God of War playthrough?
I reckon, no spoilers, but I was getting to a point where I thought, oh, yeah, I must be getting close to the end, because I was sort of upgrading stuff, and you could sort of tell by skill tree and that kind of thing. And then a little something happened, and I feel like I'm maybe 3/4 of the way through, but I kind of don't want it to end. It's one of those things where I'm playing this game and people I'm talking to about it have already finished it, and there was one point I was like, I'm going to power through. I want to catch up so I can talk to people about it and that. And the other night I played for about 7 hours straight, which is for me probably the longest gaming session I've had for quite a long time.
It's a solid session.
Oh yeah, and I just didn't I didn't want it to end. I was like, I'm not going to power through the story. I'm just going to take my time, explore all the little areas and clear them all out and do all the little side quests. And it's just an amazing experience. Amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I finished the main story over the weekend. So now I've just been doing sort of, I guess, end game or new game plus content. Yeah. Going through and doing some of the challenges and getting access to 2 of the other realms, which were closed off. You get them. I'm not going to go into anything further than that, but just pushing through there. One thing I will say I found with it, the last third of the game, I think just because I had been doing so much random side questing and exploration, my Kratos was so fucking OP for the final third of the game. I never was anywhere close to dying unless I just got bored and just went, I'm not even going to block this fight. I'm just going to go in and just go ham. Yeah. So I was just chewing through enemies left, right, and center. And even in some of the new stuff after main campaign's finished, it's a bit of a breeze. Which it could stem. I'm just playing on normal difficulty, so maybe obviously that has a bit to do with it. But when you get that certain skill tree up to a certain level and you unlock a few abilities, you just wreck house. My goodness.
I found it to be, so I found that I've spent pretty much any time I get out of a main story beat and you sort of back in that Lake of the Nine area and you can bounce around all the little islands and docks and stuff and do all the side quests and that. I've found those are where the enemies are challenging. The ones that pop up there are they're purple health bars because they're a bit stronger, or they might be orange or whatever. But when then I go and move on to the story missions, the stories are like they're not scaling, so they're lower level. So I've been breezing through the story stuff a bit easy, which is it's a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't say disappointing, but it just sort of takes a little bit something away from it. I know what you mean, like, because when you have a really challenging fight and you are like, you know, you're dodging and weaving and you're using every single ability that you've got and you're using Atreus and you're switching up the weapons and you really have to utilize every skill and upgrade that you've picked up along the way. Like, it really makes it satisfying when you beat like a hard enemy.
100%.
But then you get to like areas, like especially in story missions, you get to like a boss where you think this is going to be epic and you just run through them. It sort of, it does take a little bit of the shine off it.
Yeah, I still really, really enjoy the sort of changes they've made in combat from sort of previous God of War iterations to this one. I like the Atreus element and the utility that he's got, where you can sort of level him where it can be more of a ranged attack, or it can be a bit more of sort of a support, and he can find you health and things like that. Like, I love that functionality, and he certainly turns the tide in battles if you level him the right way. Like, I don't think that's spoilery. I think that's just common sense.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah, but he wrecks house, that little bugger.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Shout out to Mimir as well. He's awesome.
Yeah. He and even the two dwarves.
Yeah,
like,
they're great.
It certainly cuts the tone right down the middle. I find with that game is where you do have that little lightheartedness, sort of jokey.
Yeah.
Snarkiness from Brock, and then
Sindri's like this.
Sindri's
he's like
the clean
germaphobe.
Freak. Yeah. I like that because it gets, you know, the stories. It's not sort of all sunshine and rainbows. So breaking it up with those two and Mimir's really, really good storytelling, I think.
Yeah.
And just the little lore exchanges when you're sort of paddling around in the boat around the lake and stuff like that. It's so well done, and just the degree of care in that game, I haven't seen it in many games that I can remember.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I have one criticism of the game. Only one. The fact that Kratos has to climb down the little, like when you're going down ledges, sometimes he has to climb down the little cracks. I'm like, dude, you're a god. Like, just jump off the fucking thing.
Yeah, and the same on that same sort of train of thought. When you knock the chains down, or you have to kick the chain down to certain areas, instead of it just getting kicked off and then you can keep walking, he kicks it off and then
jumps
automatically
down.
Starts to climb down on the chain. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. That's the only criticism, but yeah.
That was the only criticism of this game.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Jump from
because he's a really slow. Like, everything else is just like fast paced, and he's like moves really well. It's very agile, and then there's the climbing. Sometimes is just like really slow, and it's like a 2-meter ledge, and he's got to like climb down it, and like it's just, come on, man, just jump.
Even on the expanding on that climbing, when you have to get to an area where you've got to press circle to sort of jump to another space, if you're not looking directly at it, the circle prompt doesn't come up.
Yeah.
In some games, you know, it just gets you to an area and you press the button, it'll take you there, but you actually have to sort of physically have Kratos look the direction he's trying to jump.
Yeah, that can be
minor gripe, but
doesn't the kid annoy you?
The kid?
I don't want to go into any spoiler territory. I love him, and then I hate him in parts, but that's all I'm saying.
He's a little boy.
Yeah, he's just a little shithead. What about you, Miss Hart? What have you been playing?
Oh, I've just, gone back in time and decided to just, delve my sorrows into just playing Minecraft again.
Amazing.
And, I don't care. Everyone can tell me it's a freaking kid's game. I don't freaking care. But, when life, just gets really stressful sometimes and you want to play a game, you don't want to think.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a story to follow. You don't want to have, rules. Minecraft is the perfect game just to be like, I want to kill something, I want to build something, I just want to run away, I want to drown myself. This is the perfect game for escapism. So I have been playing that again and getting creative in that one. And I went back to Hungry HQ. I don't know if anyone remembers a while back, but I opened up a realm for Hungry HQ to see.
How's it looking?
Well, there was a very vulgar purple dinosaur standing
Penis?
there that Sam... Yeah, he's his peen was out, and he was also flipping the bird. I think that was the parting gift that Sam left in there for us.
Oh, that's great.
The last time Sam played, as well as a message in the sky, which I will not say.
Hashtag hung gamers.
Oh, hung indeed. But yeah, so I kind of got back into that again, and I've got to admit that I have been watching the Achievement Hunters play, kind of restarting their land kind of thing like that, and I'm like, damn, that's the kind of thing that I wanted for us. I wanted for us to build our own little kingdoms or our own little places, and just see the shenanigans that ensues after that.
We still can, and I'd still like to. I think we just need to put some firm plans in place as far as start dates, expectations and things like that, because I still have not broken a single brick in a Minecraft game. I've still not touched that game at all, apart from sort of viewing it through my younger sister's eyes. So yeah, I'm excited to give it a go. Kruse'n, have you played much Minecraft?
No, never. Exactly the same through my younger sister's eyes, just watching them on the iPad or whatever playing it. I've never just one of those games that sort of passed me by. I think at one point I was waiting for it to come to the Vita, and then it came and it was broken. I was like, you know what? It didn't look like it was for me anyway, so I never delved.
You know a game that could be for you that I was playing earlier?
Oh, yeah?
WWE Supercard. The card game that stops a nation. Just one quick update. Have not spent a penny since last time.
Oh, dear. That's good. That's something. That's good.
Yeah, onwards and upwards. I have broken free of 2K's grasp.
You keep a Pez in a job.
Have a champion wrestling deck. Yeah. Much love, Pez. Much love. Something that we haven't been playing, but we've been watching this past weekend, Mr. Jack Cruz, is none other than Avengers Infinity War. I know we don't want to be those guys and spoil things.
No.
But what do you think? Tell me your thoughts, good, bad, or otherwise, on Infinity War.
Amazing. Just amazing. I loved this film. I really did. It was just from go to woe. And it was nearly a 3-hour movie, but it felt like it was over in an hour and a half. I was sitting in. I saw Black Panther, which I wasn't, enamored with. I think I saw it.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine. I think
Fine.
Everyone talked it up so much that it sort of, I got there, I was like, this isn't an amazing sort of film. But that dragged for me. This movie did not drag at all. This was just from the opening scene until the very last scene, and I was like, I could have gone another half an hour of that movie. It was amazing. Yeah, I loved it. I just loved it.
I literally mirror exactly everything you said, even about the sort of overhyping of Black Panther. I think Killmonger is one of the best antagonists Marvel have ever created.
Yeah,
along with Thanos, who is perfectly played by Josh Brolin. My goodness,
kills it.
And he's in parts of it. I genuinely felt like he was a protagonist in parts of it.
Yeah,
just the way that he's portrayed and his thoughts.
He's humanized almost. Yeah,
yeah. It's so well executed and he's so fleshed out. Yeah, he crushes Ultron and even when Loki was the big bad in Avengers 1. But my goodness, it flew by. As you said, I've watched it twice. I went and watched it Thursday and then I went and watched it again on Sunday, and the time flies by.
Yeah.
You sit there and go, holy shit, that was, 2 3/4 of an hour.
Yep.
Where did the time go? But yeah, it's insane. I was worried there would be a bit of sort of fatigue in the movie, especially trying to fit all those characters on screen. But I think they did a really, really good job. There's a few little arcs there that are sort of just, I guess, to have these people on screen. Yeah. But overall, it is on point. It's one of the best Marvel films to date. It's easily up there for me in the top 5, maybe top 3 for me.
It's number one. It's number one for me, absolutely. Spider-Man was my number 1, and this went past it by a way. Yeah.
Spider-Man was your number 1. Spider-Man? Are you a Spidey fan?
Yeah, I'm a big Spidey fan. I'm a big Spidey fan. Yeah.
Okay.
He's my boy.
Well, I was going to ask you guys. I haven't seen it yet. I know I'm terrible. I just don't like going to the cinema by myself.
It's the best. It's the best.
No. No, what weirdos next to me? Who was a standout character for you guys?
Thor.
Without, I guess, giving away too much. Thor
for me.
Thor and Thanos.
Yeah, Thor and Thanos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thor, like the way that they've changed Thor's character from Ragnarok. Because it's in like Thor. I've never seen the Dark World, to be fair, but in Thor and like the other Avengers movies, he's this really, talks in like he's from Asgard and like, he's very like robotic. And then in Ragnarok, he turns into like this super bro dude who's just cracking jokes and having a good time. I'm like, he's awesome. That Ragnarok I thought was amazing as well. And
Ragnarok's in top 3 for me.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it was unreal. And he just continues that on, even like when there's like, and he has some like not to spoil anything, but there's some like moments where there's like a lot of depth. It's not just him cracking jokes and being funny, but there's a lot, like there's a scene that I was just like, whew, that was deep. So yeah, he was unreal. Yeah,
they gave him a lot more layer than he's ever had in any of the movies, and I like that. And Chris Hemsworth's just a boss.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
he's rigged too.
Yeah, a man should not be allowed to be that attractive.
No,
I'm sitting there watching him like, how is this possible?
Yeah, and Western Bulldog supporter.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Wow, there you go.
Double tick.
There you go. So he's got the double stamp of approval from Kruse'n. But I'm trying to think of other notable characters from Infinity War. Obviously, Gamora gets some good screen time. I really like the exchange with Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
I think their little exchange
that was great.
Is phenomenal. But
Strange,
I don't know.
Strange and Stark as well. I thought they were really good.
Yeah, they got some good back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's hard without sort of diving into specific scenes and spoiling anything. But it just felt like some of the main title characters or main leads from previous movies were just throwaways for the most part. They had a couple of lines or they had a little bit of screen time and that was about it. But
see, I want to know about one character, but I don't know if it's a spoiler, so I don't know if I should be asking or not or anything like that. The only one major character that I actually do care about in the Marvel Universe.
Well, I mean,
okay, let's say we're at 32 minutes and 6 seconds. Listeners, come back in 60 seconds regardless, because we may spoil something here.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hawkeye.
I don't know. I mean, what do you want to know?
Is he in it?
Not physically.
He kinda is.
He gets a throwaway line about.
Why
I don't think
there?
we're spoiling anything, but he gets a throwaway line about why he's not there.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah,
now I'm not going to see the movie.
Yeah, he's not shown once, and they literally just go, "Where's Hawkeye and Ant-Man?" Oh, they're on the run. They're in witness protection.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I don't know. Like, did they just run out? I don't understand why. Like, this movie's busting records. Like, it's not like they couldn't afford to have them in there. I don't think Jeremy Renner and Paul Rudd are going to break the budget.
No. Yeah, so
then they're
I
two
thought that was
dudes
strange.
as well.
Yeah,
especially Paul Rudd. I would have loved some. Like, no doubt we'll probably see them come in Infinity War Part 2 or whatever they're going to call this thing. We'll see some Rudd and some Renner on screen in the next one, because I love Paul Rudd. Yeah, he's an ageless wonder as well. He's just a funny dude.
He's the best. He's great.
Especially, did you watch the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer that came out today? Or last night?
No,
sorry.
I haven't seen it. No, I saw that it came
today.
out. Yeah, I saw it drop.
It's good. It's good. That's all I'll say. No. It's fantastic, and it's got me keen for some more Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ooh, just give me more. I mean, I spoke about this on It Is What It Is this week about James Cameron being like, wanting the Avenger fatigue where people start to get sick of these movies. But Infinity War and Ragnarok just made me want more of them. Like, give me one every couple of months. I really don't care.
I want so much Ragnarok, and screw both of you guys. I want more Black Panthers.
I liked Black Panther, but I think it crumbled under its own hype.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But I will say movie. Killmonger, phenomenal character. He was the best character in the whole movie.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd say so too.
Oh, she's a fan in herself.
Getting a bit hot and flustered.
Woo! Getting the case of the vipers.
All right. Shall we start moving into the news headlines for this week?
This week's news headlines.
okay, so the first one is more of a preempt. By the time this comes out, this trailer would have dropped. So maybe we can take a stab or have a guess of what we think may occur in the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer that's going to be airing
Embarrass the shit
in
out
the
of
next 5 hours?
Yeah.
5 hours time?
Yep. Yep, 5 hours. That sounds about right. That's how math works. Yep. 1 a.m. on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm gonna say or hope that old Johnny Marston says, "Work, you damn nag." That's all I want to come out of that trailer.
Honestly, I reckon that we're gonna get bugger all from these trailers because Rockstar they just walk to the beat of their own drum. They don't need to do. They did it with Grand Theft Auto 5. They dropped like 2 trailers, and then that was it until like right up until release, and they started doing some more like preview content and stuff. But they really don't care. Like they give no fucks. They don't go to E3. They don't do. They're just like, you'll get the game when you get it, and it'll be awesome, and you'll buy it, and that's they've earned
That's
that.
badass.
Yeah, it is pretty badass.
I just want to see more environment. Like, I'm really excited. We're at an age where technology and graphics is looking really good and consistent, and you can actually not have to worry about like a cut sequence to see some really spectacular scenery. So I loved Red Dead Redemption's environment and the vast like desert and then the forest and like all that sort of stuff. So I'm really just looking forward just to seeing a little bit more of that and just seeing how good it's going to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this trailer could be like 10 seconds long or 2 seconds long with just one sprawling vista, and that's it. But the hype is probably going to further increase anyway from seeing that. As Jack said, Rockstar just walk to the beat of their own drum. They could show someone literally doing a poo and people would pre-order it. Sort of thing. They have
Collector's
transcended
edition
gaming.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Like, the game obviously dropping September 29 of this year, which is fantastic. But yeah, the third trailer will be out by the time you're listening to this. Let's see if we hit on any of our thoughts, and they're very safe predictions, I think.
Yeah, pretty safe. I just one thing that I love at the moment is everyone that's talking about God of War. Everyone's talking about, oh, this could be Game of the Year, but Red Dead Redemption. I like that there is a game out there that is stopping people in their place from announcing like, oh, this game's Game of the Year, hands down.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's Red Dead Redemption.
And
that's how confident people are in it.
E3, they'll probably announce Elder Scrolls, and it comes out in like October or November.
Yeah, Bethesda will do that.
Give it to
They'll
me!
drop that on you. Brendan, do you think that potentially God of War could suffer from the same fate as Horizon did, where it came out super early in the year? It came around this time last year, and by the time we got to the end of the year, everyone had sort of forgotten about it as far as Game of the Year, even though Breath of the Wild won a lot of the Game of the Years that was released before it.
Maybe like it is, like, even though we say it every year or even every quarter, it is like a bumper period for gaming, and 2018 is no different. Like God of War coming out to universal praise. We've got Detroit Become Human. We've got Spider-Man. We've got Red Dead 2. We've got even Sea of Thieves wouldn't win a Game of the Year, but it's getting a lot of positive press. State of Decay 2 might win some votes back for Microsoft. A couple of other games sort of slated later for this year. Even things like Celeste and sort of some of the smaller indie titles gets a lot of hype. But no, I think God of War, because it is such a renowned, well-known IP, I think it will sort of stay in the back of people's minds, where obviously Horizon was a bit of a new upstart. Yeah. Where God of War has been ingrained in a Sony gamer's DNA for the better part of 10 or 15 years. Yeah. I think it's going to stick around. It is just one of those big pillars from the gaming space. At the moment, like it's got my vote. Like unless Red Dead is something special, which no doubt it probably will be, God of War, the journey that I went on and I'm still going on, 50 hours in or whatever now, is so good and so needed.
I just want to point out the connection now of like, last year Horizon Zero Dawn was your favorite game, and then this year so far it's been your favorite game. They have the same kind of themes, like your furs, your beards, your adventures into vast lands, and snow, and
Is that
Is there a theme we should pick up on here?
in a
I'm a
Primal's coming out.
man. Yeah, I'm a man that grew up in the snowy mountains. I like hair on my face.
Oh.
I like primitive weaponry. I've killed many an animal as a child and as an adult. So maybe it just feels like I'm living this weird parallel universe life in, Horizon world and God of War world and things like that. Maybe it's just
There's
escapism written for me.
There's something to unpack this at some point. I think I think we need to look into that at some future.
But it just seems that sort of first quarter and a half of each calendar year is just boom, boom, boom as far as game releases go. And then you get a couple more big dogs sort of dropping in that sort of September, October time span as well. But we'll see. I'm excited. I love Westerns and I'm hungry for it even more now, like watching the second season of Westworld, 2 episodes in, getting that sort of cowboys and Indians Western flavor sprinkled through my television viewing. That show's
Should really
good.
watch that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I
It's
gotta
so
get on
good.
that. I gotta get on that.
Yeah, you haven't watched any of it either,
No.
have you?
Nah.
It's on my.
No. 1 episode for me. One.
I started watching Lost in Space the other day, and I've got to get back to that now. So I've got to finish that, and then I might think about Westworld. But then we've got.
I don't think I could take that show seriously after the movie. I love that movie, by the way.
With Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc movie.
Yeah.
I'm a. This is gonna sound really, but I'm like an original series Lost in Space fan from like the '60s Lost in Space, like the black and white, yeah, like the original television show. So like that's sort of where my love for Lost in Space comes.
I was like, we were having dinner earlier, and Rachel's telling me that there's a bit of a crush / like love towards the new robot. Like females apparently are saying he's really sexy.
I saw.
So I checked it out. The head of it looks sort of like the Geth from Mass Effect, but it's just got this big rig tank, muscly, like V-shaped, staunch body attached to it. Like
he does remind me of Geth. He's kind of like a Geth crossed with a Watcher from Horizon with that the head in that. Like he reminds me of that. That is a good throwback. I've only watched the 1 episode, so I can't really. I mean, I didn't find him that. I mean, I guess he's not. I'm not the target market maybe for attractive robots. I don't know.
Get on it.
I'm trying to think of apart from Westworld, because some of the robots in that. My goodness, I'd push my grandmother down the stairs if they asked me to. Like, whew, but anyway. My grandma's a bit of a bitch anyway, so I'd just probably do it anyway.
Jeez.
Moving
Something
on.
else to unpack later on.
Yes, we're unpacking everything. It's like sort of reverse Christmas here on the podcast. But the next bit of news that I wanted to uncover sort of ties into our God of War discussion earlier. So Corey Barlog has got himself into a little bit of I wouldn't say trouble, but sort of a bit of a please explain when he made some tweets the other day saying he sort of had potentially enough material to write another 5 God of War titles. So obviously the media grabbed that and ran.
Yeah.
But he's since come out and clarified his statements, and he tweeted regarding what he said as it was nothing more than quote unquote speculation and not necessarily a declaration of exact plans for the God of War franchise. The future of the franchise is going to be more measured than what we discussed on the show.
Yeah, I think because he said I think he did it like during like a spoiler cast, I think with Kotaku, and I think they asked him something like, how many more God of Wars could you do? Like, he's like, 5, and he's just sort of like a throwaway line, and then they've written a story saying Corey Barlog has plans to make 5 more God of Wars, and then everyone ran with it. And it was funny because I saw that day he like quote tweeted the Kotaku article. He's like, "Did I?" ? With like the confused emoji. So yeah, it was just, I think that's poor reporting from Kotaku, like to take his words out of context.
It's extremely clickbaity.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh yeah.
Like I would not say no to 5 more God of War games.
Goodness.
My vision, being completely unqualified in game creation and game writing and the like, but I think maybe they're setting it up as a trilogy, maybe 2 more games.
Yep.
is my thought process without diving into spoilers on why, but I think there's basis for 2 more games on the current arc.
Maybe they'll do a God of War in Cowboy.
Oh, damn.
God of Red Dead.
I call it God of
God
Boar,
of
and it's
Red
like Boar, and it's like a big tusk pig. I'd be down for that. But
How old is he? How old is the character in God of War?
Kratos? He'd be several hundred years old.
How old is he?
I don't know exactly how old.
I think he'd be... Well, no, because I think he's like... Because he's a demigod, because he's only like half god. And he would probably be like in his 60s, maybe. Like, I don't think he's that super old, because his arc sort of goes quite quickly from like when God of War starts, like where the series starts, and he sort of... So like the story is he's like... He sells his soul to Ares to save him in battle, and then he's Ares' slave, and then he accidentally kills his... Spoilers for God of War from like the PlayStation 2, accidentally kills his wife and daughter, and then he's like basically his whole thing is to try and get his memories erased. That's like the arc for like the next few games, and so it's sort of building up to that. And then he, at the end of God of War 3, he kills Zeus, and that's when, and then like the whole like of like Athens and all that just goes like the world ends basically.
Because they're like, he's been killed himself twice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, 2 or 3 times, I think. Almost every game he goes down to like hell.
So he's maybe 40, 50 years old from the arc, but then with the demigod thing, we don't know if he's immortal still. Like, we don't know what sort of godlike traits he gets, but
that's true. Yeah, we don't know how
he's still
long,
aged pretty well. Like, he's a good looking beast, and he's jacked as shit in God of War.
He definitely aged like a fine wine. I'll give him that.
He's
I don't
jacked.
even drink wine, but I want to drink it now. Like, my goodness.
Fine whiskey? I don't know.
Oh yeah. So moving into a bit more of a somber news headline that's sort of occurred this past week here on the Australian shores is ScreenPlay. The video game show that was housed on 7 Mate, which is a subsidiary and offshoot of Channel 7, has been cancelled. So it's lasted 12 months on the screens. Obviously, that had Hex and Nick, who were 2 of the figureheads from Good Game, jumped across to mainstream television under the ScreenPlay banner. 12 months, and it's see you later. So, I'm not surprised.
No.
What do you guys think? Like, have you watched it? Have you got a feel for it at all? Is this a surprise to you two?
My general thought process is that ScreenPlay or any kind of gaming-based programming is obviously aiming for a audience that is already familiar with the internet and uses the internet regularly. So they're going to find that content of covering games, talking about games and all that sort of jazz. It's already there for free on YouTube. It's already free like online.
On demand too.
Exactly right. So no one's really going to be watching it on TV that, gosh, barely anyone watches anymore, mind you. They're just going to watch something on YouTube now. So I don't want anyone to lose out, especially when it's in the gaming industry, and having someone amazing as Hex being a female representative, also female Australian representative of gaming. She's amazing. So I only wish the best for her. She's apparently got stuff lined up. But yeah, I don't want to see the fail, but then I also can't say I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's sad. It sucks just mainly, I guess, from the point of view as like cool people like Hex and Nitch and these guys like losing their jobs. Like, that sucks. But I mean, like you said, this day and age, everything's touch of the button. Like, no one wants to wait until 8:30 on a Tuesday night to watch something on 7 Mate. Do you know what I mean? If they want content, they'll... And I know ScreenPlay tried to push a lot of the digital side as well, and they did a bit of streaming and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, there's so many... There's Twitch, there's the myriad of Twitch streamers. You've got things like Rooster Teeth and Funhouse and Achievement Hunter and Kinda Funny and all the different channels, and everyone's got their sort of channel that they attach to, that for something to be successful like the screenplay itself with those people could be successful in a vacuum on the internet, but the fact that they have a commercial responsibility to sponsors and these types of things, just spells bad news from the start, and that they have to be bringing in ad revenue, they have to be getting ratings, they have to hit numbers to keep shareholders happy, to keep these guys, because 7mate can just be like, oh, we'll just run reruns of The Big Bang Theory and we'll make it'll cost us an nth of what screenplay costs us, and we'll make 10 times as much from it, and that's just the harsh reality of commercial television.
Bang on the money. Like obviously being on commercial television was, I guess, one of the first red flags, even sort of before that first episode aired. But the fact that it jumped not only dates, but then it jumped time slots, and it was running like for the last sort of, I guess, half of the season was running at like 10 p.m. on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And because it is sort of a show more so aimed at the teen age gap, I'd say, for the most part, they're hypothetically in better sleep by then. So
like me.
like Nana Hart here. Like it could survive in sort of an on-demand aspect where maybe it's parked on Stan, and there's a catalog or a weekly episode dropping on that are available, at the click of a button, or as you mentioned, Jack, as well, like similar to like what Kind of Funny Games Daily do, where they have a stream on at every time, every Monday through Friday, or even if it's just twice a week, once a week, at a set time where viewers and fans can tune in and watch live, and maybe there's a little bit more of that interaction because they were dabbling with Twitch and YouTube and Facebook Live and everything else. But yeah, I'm not at all surprised. I like that mainstream television were giving it a go, but I just felt from the get-go it probably had a bit of a expiry date attached to it, depending on execution. And the production value is really high. Like apparently it was costing them last year like $2 million to do it for the 12 months. Like it was not a cheap show apparently to fit out and create the content for. So it's a fairly sizable expense for Channel 7.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's the issue.
But one thing you did point out, and that's actually a really interesting point, especially with this day and age, is interaction is a very key element now with especially with the youth and just all of us, I guess, like having that element of interaction, open discussion, opinions, and having that reached either real time on Twitch or just, community forums, comments, Twitter, and that sort of stuff. I think that's really important now. So I just, commercial TV just can't even offer that, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Shame.
but pour some out for everyone involved at Screenplay. No doubt we will see them pop up in some other facet in the very near future. They're very talented individuals, both in front of and behind the cameras over there. So we wish them all the best.
Yeah, they'll land on their feet.
Definitely.
They'll land on their feet for sure. I know Hex went over and did some stuff with Rooster Teeth not long ago, so maybe that's on the cards. Maybe she saw the writing on the wall.
Maybe they'll have another offshoot on like ABC, or SBS Viceland might pick something up. Something edgy.
Yeah.
Sexy game news or something.
Sexy game news.
Remember the Naked News? Dude,
I was going to say it. I didn't want to say it, but I was going to
News.
say it. Yeah, I remember Naked News. God, I love that show.
Little fact, when I moved to Canada, I found the place to live in via Craigslist, and I moved. It was like, the ad read, sharing a two-story apartment with a couple. Yeah, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
The male in the relationship was an illegal alien that's visa expired a few years earlier from Germany, like cyber goth, like latex from head to toe, fluoro pink, ponytail down to his ass, distilled his own moonshine in the basement, and his partner Tanya was one of the hosts on the Naked News.
I love it.
For Canada.
He sounds like an interesting cat.
Yeah, it was... if I was writing memoirs, those chapters would probably be some of the best. My goodness.
No doubt.
But also, something that is some of the best, the Shadow of the Tomb Raider trailer. Did you watch it? What do you think? Obviously, it came off the back of yet another leak. This game has encountered more leaks than a holy boat. It seems like obviously it was first broken on a Canadian subway or a Canadian train system where someone looked over at another person's laptop doing game art or something.
Yeah.
It was broken, and now this trailer sort of leaked before Square Enix and Co could get ahead of it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Obviously, this is aimed as the conclusion of this new trilogy of the Tomb Raider story. Did you just watch it? Have you digested it? What do you reckon?
I didn't watch it, but I don't know if everyone stays on track on my disinterest for the Tomb Raider series. So I honestly, especially after seeing like the movie, like
On the fan?
I didn't bother seeing the movie because I remember when that first picture dropped of her.
Yeah.
No, the picture
with
of
the
her.
neck?
And I was actually no, I know what you're referring to. No, I think it was just her just standing on a beach or something like that, and I just like looked at her and I was just like, no.
No, Lara.
No,
I
like,
still
I
haven't
don't know.
watched the new film with Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft. I like that it's true to the newer games. I really loved the most recent two games. I thought they were phenomenally done.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is a fitting end to sort of that 3-part saga where you're seeing Lara become a woman in the Tomb Raider that we all know and love from way back when.
Yeah.
But the trailer doesn't give much away. It's only like 20 or 30 seconds, if I can remember right. So it's not long-winded. It doesn't go into too much detail. You see Lara getting chased through a jungle. She's got her usual bit of kit. She's got a bow and arrows and the pickaxe that she's been impaling people with for the better part of 5 or 6 years now. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm excited. More Tomb Raider from Square Enix is never a bad thing. They delivered and then some on the previous 2 iterations. So, what do you think, Kruse'n?
I remember hearing good
Tomb
things
Raider
about
guy?
the games.
Yeah, I'm a big fan as well. I really like the original Tomb Raider, like the reboot. It was amazing. Loved it. Just recently played earlier this year. Rise of the Tomb Raider, which was which I really enjoyed as well. I thought it was a great game, really well put together. I think where the first Tomb Raider was really good was it was it was just something fresh. It was new. It was a bit different, and I thought the Rise of the Tomb Raider tried a little bit too much to be Uncharted, just with some set piece stuff and that, which it just didn't need to do. But still, it was a great game overall. This game, like, it looks more of the same. Like, it looks like we're going to get more Lara with her pickaxe and going through jungles and stuff like that. And it looks like it's set in like an Aztec type. Had a very like what's that movie that Mel Gibson did back in the day?
Apocalypto.
Yeah, it had a bit of an Apocalypto vibe to it with the guy that looks like they were trying to sacrifice in the trailer, and so like that's a cool setting. I think which would be cool to sort of explore a little bit more. But I hope that they maybe, I don't know, just do more of the same, but try something maybe a little bit more like grounded. Like I was disappointed with Rise that they tried a little bit too hard with the set pieces and the Uncharted sort of. Just do something a bit different story wise. I think would be good.
Yeah, it's. I think you pretty well bang on the money. They go back to the well pretty consistently, and they may do that a little bit more in this. But I'm liking that that Aztec or that Mayan sort of universe that we're going to be diving into now with Lara, and I like that even though this will be her third game, she's still got that vulnerability about her. She's not that sort of. She's still a badass, and she kills more people than you can count, just like bloody Nathan Drake does in Uncharted. They're the good guys, but they mow down hundreds upon hundreds of enemies in every game they play without even batting an eyelid. But I'm keen. I'm certainly not going to complain. I'm curious to see if Xbox are going to try and do some kind of power play again and do like a timed exclusive like they did with the latest. We'll see. But
looks like it's going to just based on like EB pre-orders and stuff. Looks like it's day and date PS4 and Xbox, which I think that really hurt Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics that sort of deal, that exclusivity deal with Xbox, because it didn't pay off for Xbox, probably for what they paid for it. As far as getting people to buy the console, and it just pissed off PlayStation owners.
Yeah, it really did. It sort of left a lot of bad taste in pretty well everyone involved's mouth, which is a shame, because I can see the methodology behind Xbox trying to gain some ground on sort of PlayStation and having a title as sort of prestigious as Tomb Raider as their own crown jewel, albeit for 12 months or whatever it was, 9 months.
Yeah, it was about 12, yeah.
But yeah, just got everyone offside. But yeah, September, I think it's releasing.
Something like that, yeah. It'll be good. I'm liking that we're getting game. It seems like the trend is changing just slightly. Like, there's still games getting delayed, but I feel like we're getting games announced and they're coming out. Like, we're not getting them and they're getting delayed. Like, it feels like I know there's been a few delays and that kind of thing recently, but I feel like we're getting games when we're getting told.
The release windows are a lot smaller than years past, where for the most part, excluding a few main titles, you only usually hear a game maybe 18 months out.
Yeah, unless it's Death
for the
Stranding.
rare occasion like bloody Death Stranding, we're going to be playing that in 2030 or something.
PlayStation 6. PlayStation 6 exclusive.
This was a leak, though, so when were they planning on dropping this?
Well, they had that Tomb Raider event last week, which was like a media event, which everyone got invited to. Not us, or I didn't. I don't know if you guys did.
Yeah, sadly not. We didn't get the call. Like I like that more guerrilla marketing with game releases, like what they did with sort of a Fallout 4 and what people in the music industry are doing, where you don't get that chance to have sort of hype burnout, where you just say, hey, this is coming out, and by the way, it's coming out in a month or today or right now. Like, I love that, and I hope more gaming companies sort of go down that path. Yeah,
and lots of games are still
hopefully.
getting, to be clear, like lots of games are still getting delayed. So I'm not saying that no games are getting delayed, but I feel like we're getting more games now that are coming out in short periods of time. We're not getting long, like 2-year, 18-month sort of lead-ins. It's just like, here it is, and it's out in 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that September sort of slate is going to be busy, very busy. Like, that's Spider-Man territory, that's Tomb Raider territory, that's Red Dead territory. Yeah. My goodness.
It's good being a nerd, isn't it?
Start saving those pennies, boys and girls.
Yeah, it's expensive being a nerd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
More than ever.
All right, a game that will not cost you a penny that just had the Season 4 release, which ties neatly into the Battle Royale roundup, is Fortnite. Season 4 is now live at time of recording. It is a sort of superhero-themed season, and according to the official patch notes, it reads, shards of a massive comet have crashed into the map, altering the landscape. In those crash sites, you'll find hop rocks, a new consumable item that gives you low gravity powers for a limited time. So on top of that, you've got access to obviously the 100-tier battle pass, which you've had in previous seasons. There's also 7 superhero-themed skins. Based off the initial leak graphic, there was talk about potentially like a Wonder Woman variant, as well as maybe a Wolverine. So there was some of the scuttlebutt that was sort of getting thrown around there. But sadly, neither of those have come close. The last one that you get for reaching level 100 on the battle pass is close to Black Panther, but the rest of them are just a bunch of randos, really. Interesting.
Yeah.
Kruse'n, have you played Fortnite at all?
No, I haven't. I've watched a lot of streams. I've watched a bit of yourself and Rach playing, and it seems to be the one that, like, everyone's bloody playing Fortnite at the moment. But never played it. I don't know. It's not. It's a bit like just that whole cartoony vibe. Just doesn't really drag me in.
You should download it on the PlayStation and come play with us sometime, because it is cross-platform. It is $0 to play the Battle Royale variant. So give it a crack. Come on and give it a go.
Right.
The building mechanic I'm still exceptionally bad at. I'm getting better with it, but I'm so poo. And I lose a lot of games because of it, but it's good fun. But man, it gets the blood boiling.
Yeah.
God, it was good last night watching everyone, like, because what happened was the update kind of clocked over for a lot of, like, Americans, like, at around, like, past 2 a.m., I think it was. So for Australians, this was actually good timing for us. Something that actually worked in our favour. But it was great seeing like all the Twitch streamers doing season 4 and everyone just landing in that new crater or where the but the funniest thing is that because everyone's landing there, everyone's experiencing lag.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, they're quick to emphasize that the game is still in early access when they have that sort of load limit in certain zones. But yeah, it's good fun. I'm extremely happy too because they've just brought back the T-Rex skin today, which was the one I've wanted like for all of 2 weeks since I've been playing this game. That's the only one I've wanted. Now I just picked it up today, so I'm a happy camper.
There you go.
I'm going to be rolling around as little green dino, poning noobs, and probably just getting wrecked all the time. But
Merkin dogs, as they say.
Yeah, they say that out on the streets.
Some say it.
And some might say, via way of Polygon, that PUBG Corp have confirmed arrests on 15 hackers. That's what they may say out on the streets. Arrests.
I love it.
So this is directly from Polygon. Rumors of arrests trickled out of China earlier this year when police reportedly picked up some 130 individuals on 30 different open cases. Unfortunately, those numbers were never confirmed. But sort of tailing off the back of that, publisher PUBG Corp have formally announced 15 arrests have been made recently by Chinese authorities. Charges include developing and selling hacking/cheating programs that affect PUBG. Fines are said to be in excess of $5.1 million US.
What? Who's writing the legislation for PUBG hacking? I want to know.
Yes, yeah. $5.1 million US.
Jesus.
After our story last week with the loot box thing,
Yeah.
and now this, like, holy shit.
Video games are serious business.
Yeah, someone's finally taking us seriously.
It's insane. And they sort of also provided some updated numbers when sort of PUBG Corp did that massive sort of purge about a month or so ago, trying to find
13%
hackers
or
and fake accounts. The numbers turned out that they actually purged 13% of its player base was hackers and like dodgy accounts and things. 13%.
Do you know what?
So that's a couple of million.
More.
That I can respect that. Like for a company to like they could eat like obviously people they want more people playing the game, right? But for them to like take a stand and be like, no, we're going to get rid of a sizable chunk of our revenue base and player base to keep the what do you call it? Like the
appease the fans, like.
Yeah, like the they want to keep it
the
fair,
goodwill
like,
in the community.
Yeah, they want like they want the game to be fair. They don't want it to be like jeopardized by these people, hacking it and selling hacking stuff. They're willing to get rid of that big of a chunk of their player base. I think that's like I can respect that.
And I think they need to sort of do things like this because obviously they're losing footing by the day in the Battle Royale space from Fortnite. Yeah. Like Fortnite is just running away with it now, like similar to what PUBG did last year when it first sort of hit the ground. Fortnite has done that and then some, and now PUBG is, well, it's not as obviously as bad as a H1Z1 or anything like that, but it's, it is the distant footing, second place now. Like it's crazy.
Be interesting to see, like, it seems like every man and their dog is doing a battle royale mode now in their game. I think they said the next Black Ops is getting rid of a campaign mode in favor of a battle royale mode. So it's that trend now of that seems to be the trend. Everyone's putting this mode in their game. So interesting to see.
Animal Crossing battle royale.
Damn. Yeah,
I'd pay a good $1 for that.
Yeah, it's certainly the buzzword on every gamer or every developer's lips is like, how can we weave a battle royale mode into our franchise here? Because we're gonna maybe make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
I still want to try and play Radical Heights, but I've heard it is so buggy. So I'm just gonna wait for a couple of little updates first.
It looks like it reminds me of Sunset Overdrive, which I loved.
Yeah,
I think you remember how much I love Sunset Overdrive. Yeah, but I'm hearing not great things.
Integrity was the word I was thinking of. Integrity.
Tyranny?
Integrity.
Integrity. That's a good word too.
Yeah.
Word of the day.
So that is the news that was. Unless you guys have anything else you wanted to sort of bring to the table to unpack on this episode. It's a pretty lean week. There's not a huge amount out there that are massive sort of water cooler talking points from what I've found.
No, I don't really have anything newsworthy, I don't think.
No. Go and play God of War if you haven't already.
Definitely.
No, I will not. Go play Yakuza.
Yeah, I'm actually I
Minecraft.
might pivot onto Yakuza now that I'm done with God of War. So,
are you going to do Yakuza 0 or 6?
Maybe 0 first, because that's what I've got on the PlayStation already. So I might push through a bit of that, feel it out, and then maybe jump to 6. I don't know. Who knows these days?
Oh, yeah.
But we are.
Who knows?
I do have a review on the iTunes, but we're going to bypass it for now because it's talking about NATO, and I think it'd be more appropriate to do that on an episode where NATO's on here. So we'll leave that for now. But listeners, be sure to rate, subscribe, review not only this podcast but other podcasts that are on your rotation. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the It Is What It Is podcast, championed by our man Jack Kruse'n _ Cruz, who is obviously guesting with us right now. Jack, did you want to give us the quick elevator pitch on what It Is What It Is?
Yeah. So I mean, think of it as it's a news and current affairs show. It's a long form sort of discussion around like just any particular news stories that are happening. So it can be anything from politics and world news to gaming stuff to entertainment things to if someone said something stupid on social media, anything like that. The whole point of it is that there's no barrier for entry. So if you're not up to date on politics and these types of things, you don't need to be to engage in the conversation or to listen to it and get a little bit out of it. So it's just about people getting together and talking about the news of the week and how it makes you feel and what pisses you off about it and hot takes and all that good stuff. So I find it is a very rewarding show to do because I get to educate myself on stuff that's going on, which I might not have in. It's sort of the onus is on me to make sure that I know what I'm sort of half talking about. But it's sort of I enjoy like being able to, I guess, talk about things in like layman's terms. I guess in ways that I can understand it.
Yeah, the delivery and the structure and the preparation is a lot more refined than the Hungry Gamers, for instance. Not trying to kid ourselves here, but
hey man, you guys have got a good formula.
It's a fantastic pod to listen to, and I'm not just saying that because you're a mate and part of the 8-Bit Collective with everything else. It is an absolute belter of a podcast. 15 episodes in the chamber now, I do believe.
Yeah, 15
latest one
in.
with Matty Perkins from Ultra Super Mega.
Yep, had Perko on, which is great fun. He's a ripping dude. So got your handsome self making your return to the episode, to the show, I should say, this week.
I'm excited to see what news we're going to try and educate the listeners on.
Man, I've got a massive list. It's good. It's going to be a good week.
This
I'm
is
excited
the podcast that apparently has the most handsomest people, apparently. There's a lot of controversy about the most handsome guest on this podcast.
Yeah,
so
Pez wasn't happy.
Let the viewers have a look.
Pez wasn't happy. Dubbed Perko the handsomest man in the AGP, and he wasn't happy.
Pez would get a few more cute points if he didn't have such a rigid hairline.
Rigid hairline.
I love him to death, but that sort of widow's peak, I feel like I could cut my finger on it if I ran my hand across it. Like
it's very Danny Zuko, isn't it?
Oh yeah. But he's a legend. Just keep them WWE Supercard download keys coming, Pez. We'll keep flying that beautiful flag. But so that has been an episode. Krusey, where can we find you? What have you got coming up? Tell us about things that are happening in your stratosphere over the coming weeks.
Oh, I've got just more. It Is What It Is. So stay tuned for that. You can find it on iTunes. Search It Is What It Is. Search It Is What It Is, and just look for the purple dinosaur. There'll be more of that. Once I finish God of War, I will get back into streaming, but I've sort of wanted to save God of War for myself and not play it on stream, so I will jump back into that, back into the streaming at some point. And I do have I can't say anything yet, but there is a super special little project coming up soon that all will be revealed, but can't say too much yet.
Wait to hear more about that one. But as far as streaming, can they find you at the same handle as they'd find you on your Twitter?
Yes, absolutely. It's Kruse'n_mate pretty much everywhere except YouTube, which is remove the hashtag, the underscore, I should say. I've had the underscore since grade 7, and I just can't let it go. I just can't. I thought about getting rid of the underscore, but it's part of me now.
And no one can argue with that. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and
yes, it is.
We all need that comfort. So
Yep.
I'm with you. I'm standing with you.
Fantastic.
As
Thank
we
you.
stood with WA the other day. For some reason in the podcast, I can't remember why, but we were standing with them too.
Stand with WA. Oh dear.
But
Hung Gamers, stand firm.
that's
Hung
right.
Gamers stand
That's
firm.
right. There we are, and we've come full circle. So, Miss Hart, what about you? What do you got going on?
What have I got going on? I'm probably going to build some kind of disastrous machine in Minecraft and find a way to kill a bunch of creatures. Also going to start playing Overwatch and get a little bit serious with that, hopefully. I know that they've had a bunch of new, I think, gaming, like gaming modes that they released or something of that variety, and I have abandoned Overwatch for some time, so I need to get back into it and apparently not be a Junkrat main. So I will work on that.
I'm going to have some stern words to EB Games to try and find out where the hell my Nintendo Labo is, because I completely forgot I pre-ordered the damn thing.
Oh, wow.
And then I was sort of combing my bank account the other day, and I saw that it went out, but
No one's called you to
Labo
tell you.
came in. So I need to try and find where my stuff is, because I want to
I'd
build
be-
some things.
Yeah, I'd be following that because I think they only hold them for it depends what level member you are, but they only hold it for a certain amount of time, don't they?
Yeah, but I even checked my order, and I had it scheduled to deliver here.
Oh, wow.
So maybe some creepy neighbour's stolen it, and he's rolling around in my cardboard boxes right now. But I'm going to track that down. I'm going to prep for some It Is What It Is.
Yes.
And yeah, maybe do some video editing stuff. Haven't done any of that in a while. Maybe play some games and record some capture. That's what I might do.
Oh,
Maybe.
we do have a YouTube, don't we?
We do. You can find our YouTube content at We Are 8-Bit. So /We Are 8-Bit. And you can find us on all those socials at We Are 8-Bit as well. There's actually a couple of videos on our YouTube channel with our boy Kruse'n and our other boy John O'Peck recapping Supernova down in Melbourne. So the 2018 edition, obviously. And our boy Kruse'n mate is now a Jedi apprentice. I wasn't going to say master, but you're well on your way. I saw those movements and those swings. You're on your way. You got talent.
Yeah, I'm one with the Force, as they say.
It looked like a hell of fun. Did you have a good time
was
filming
good
that?
fun.
Like, did you get any I kind of feel like a dickhead doing this on camera, but you committed to the bit. I loved it.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit of a camera whore, so when I get in front of the camera, I'm just I can turn it on, but
like a good whore does.
like a good whore does.
Dance for me.
No, I had a blast doing that. It was honestly really fun. The guys were really cool, and like so the Sons of Obi-Wan is the lightsaber school. Basically, he started it as a way to teach like special needs kids like disciplines and stuff like that, and just communication and things like that. So a really good cause, and just really cool as well. Awesome, like strong, like the lightsaber blades are made of like bulletproof glass. So he was like smashing it on the ground, and it wasn't breaking. It was really cool. It was cool to hold like a meaty blade and swing it around. So it was sounded really bad, but
Yeah, dude.
swinging
We
my
all,
meaty
we all
blade
envision
around.
swinging meaty blades around. Instead, I've just got a little Swiss Army knife. But watch out. I've got some tweezers in there too.
Oh dear.
But yeah, check out youtube.com/We Are 8-Bit for that Supernova recap done by our man Kruse'n as well as our other boy Jono. They're fantastic vids. Little bangers too, so you're not going to have to sort of consume much of your day. Collectively, the two movies go for about 10 minutes. So who doesn't have 10 minutes to spare to watch some good content?
That's it.
Damn right.
Watch me swinging my meaty blade.
I think that's going to be the episode title right there. We always get them right at the end.
Brilliant.
Right at the end.
All right, 8-Bit Nation. As always, I have been one of your humble hosts, Brendan. You can find me everywhere at Brendan8Bit. Check out the 8-Bit Collective as a whole via 8bit.net or search the hashtag 8-Bit Collective. There is a ton of very, very, very talented individuals on there creating content on the daily. You never need to change that station. You can find it all at 8bit.net and check out audiotechnica.com.au for the best in audio equipment in the lands. Till next time, 8bit Nation, much love.
Stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.